Good morning, people. This is Roger Thunder, the Desert Shaman, here speaking in my own voice, as opposed to a synthesized voice. I got a few comments on the last video I did, which was a synthesized voice and music and narration. Don't think for a minute that because I do those kind of things that's the rule of the day. Okay, it isn't. I understand the power of the resonance in my voice, the timbre and the frequency, and the natural and supernatural effect that might have. Now, why would I do a video like that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's young people out there, or younger people, or certain people that don't have too much of an attention span, number one. And number two, they are into entertainment rather than counseling or whatever. They just want entertainment. So like I told a friend, I do those kind of videos to lasso and hog tie them, bring them into the herd here. Hee-haw. You have to kind of hook people sometimes, pull them out of their complete mindlessness, okay, with entertainment. Sometimes that works, okay. There's all kinds of things that shamans know about that work, including stories and things of that nature, all right? Not to be worried. No worries. I would never give up doing personal, in person, live from Nevada, me talking videos, okay? Never going to happen. I understand the natural and the synthesized or the AI. So anyway, now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about Vajra and Indra. Now, Vajra, I'm not going to go into depth about this. I just thought that I would couple this up with my announcement that I'm not making all synthesized videos. Vajra, V-A-J-R-A, Vajra, sometimes known as Vajravalasi in certain shamanistic circles, Vivi for short, Vajra, that's Mother Earth. That's the consciousness of Mother Earth. That is Mother Earth. Another name would be Unsi Maka. But there's other meanings besides Mother Earth. Actually, Vajra is a thunderbolt instrument from ancient Hindu culture. A thunderbolt or a lightning instrument as well, okay? And that instrument is used by Indra, okay? I-N-D-R-A. What is Indra? Well, Indra is the sun. Indra is the spirit direction of the East in Hindu mythology. And Indra has a weapon. Now that weapon is Vajra, okay? It's a protective device, or it's a device of causing certain things to happen, activation, energy, activation, movement, that type of thing. Indra uses Vajra because Indra is the storm god or the thunder god. If you get my drift there, the thunder god. and is also the rising sun or the son of God or God itself. Okay. Actually, Indra is completely united with Vajra. Okay. And Vajra is a consort, a lover, because you got the masculine and the feminine, or the yang and the yin. Okay. The polarities going on here. I love getting up in the morning, and I get up every morning and I watch Indra rise, and I do ritual to Indra, and I bow to Indra, and I unify with Indra. As Indra comes over the horizon, oh, it was a beautiful sunrise today. Incredible, orgasmic. The whole sky was on was on fire. Had to sneeze there. The whole sky was on fire. Indra setting the sky on fire. Now as Indra comes over the horizon and shines on Mother Earth, it's a copulation, it's a unification, it's a yoga, it's a union. And it's the divine lovers of Indra and Vajra, which there is no separation. Actually, the consciousness of Vajra is the consciousness of Indra, and the consciousness of Indra is the consciousness of Vajra. And as this happens, as this divine copulation or unification happens, creation evolves, all right? And guess what? You're part of that creation. You're part of the birthing process, okay? You as a person, or a part of mankind, or the anthropos on the planet, is actually a birth of a baby, or a birth of a son or daughter. And that son or daughter is you, and it's me, and it's everybody that has enough common sense to know that, all right? So therefore, you have a indication of the Trinity, okay? Boy, it's getting light in here, almost like there's a glow, like almost like Indra's here, all right. Feeling the presence, okay? Feeling the presence, love it. So, it could be said that you are a son of God or a daughter of God, but if you are being birthed by Vajra and Indra, it's a trinity, okay? And so you have to look at it as Indra up here, Vajra down here, the earth, Vajra, Indra, and you in between. And you in between is the son of God or the daughter of God, which makes you God in a sense. Just like if you had a physical earthly mother and father with their DNA and so forth and so on, you were actually a product of that. And so you are a part of that. And in that sense, you are God, goddess, okay, whether you are male or female, depending. But then within that God, goddess, whoever you are, if you're a goddess, you have the God energy. If you're a god, you have the goddess energy. We're all gods and goddesses. We are all an emanation from the copulation, an emanation from the copulation of divine unification of Indra and Vajra. Again, Indra uses Vajra as a creative aspect, okay? Just like if you have a connection, or let's say the energy of Vajra velocity, or Vajra, if you're a male, if you have that Shakti energy, Shakti on board, some people say, or if you're a female and you have Shiva on board, then you're a big way towards knowing. Okay, you are starting to know, you are starting to feel, you are starting to become in tune with the consciousness of, you could call it Sophia, or you could call it Vajra, or Vajra velocity, VV. That, again, is known, that's kind of a little comical saying amongst certain shamans and shamanistic people. It's a term of endearment, kind of like, man, am I just like melting right into the universe here or what? It's a term of endearment. And see, here's the thing. Once you hook up with that planetary consciousness, Vajra, all kinds of strange and wonderful things will start happening. Because then you were in tune with your creator and creatress, okay? Incidentally, Indra went on later in Hindu mythology to become Shiva. And Shiva has Shakti as the consort. Shakti is the same as Vajra, in my estimation. Shakti is the same as Vajra. And it's a movement energy, a kriya energy, a movement of energy, movement of creative energy. So when you have this movement of creative energy, it's you could look at it as like on a battery. You could look at it as the negative, or the yin, the negative, pushing the positive, or the positive inspiring the negative. Indra inspires Vajra, Vajra inspires Indra. It's kind of hard to put this into words, but that's the general gist of things. It's often thought that that Indra or Shakti, or the feminine, is always a receptive source. That's true in a way, but also it's a birthing source. It's a pushing source. It's a pushing out of. And what happens when that happens? Well, Indra becomes activated, and that creative force, like I say, it's kind of like a battery. If you look at a battery, you have polarities, and if you have a circuit from a battery going from the negative to the positive, you'll see a flow coming out from the negative through the circuit, and if it hits a light, it'll turn the light on. That's how powerful it is, just the flow. And then it'll go up and around and back into the positive end of the battery, okay? But the positive end of the battery is receiving. So it's actually kind of a concept that some might not understand, because a lot of times people look at Indra, or the positive source, as giving. You can't have one without the other, people. You can't have Indra without Vajra, and Vajra without Indra, okay? It's just how everything works, okay? And it's beautiful. It's a unification. It's one source pushes the other, inspires the other. There's inspiration involved here, and there's creativity involved here. This is how the universe works. And that's how we receive an abundance from the cornucopia of Vajra, all right, or the mixture of the two. Vajra will give you anything you want. Yeah, you just have to get out of your own way, and that's the rub. It's just realizing that you have to get out of your own way and open to receive. But in this circuit here, you have a giving and receiving. So this has to do with prosperity as well, all right? This has to do with prosperity, giving and receiving. If you give, you will receive. If you give, you will receive tenfold, okay? If you enter into the circuitry of prosperity and commerce and that type thing, giving and receiving is always evident. There's always buyers and sellers. So I think I'm going to kind of, jump into a segue into another thing here about what I started off with was I put things out there so people will be attracted to the desert shaman and learn from the desert shaman. My purpose is to increase exposure, okay? And my purpose also is to do counseling on a one-to-one basis. Let me segue into this because I did a former video or a past video, you all know where I'm going with this, about giving one-to-one counseling. Don't pass this chance up. Don't pass it up. Shamans can heal on all kinds of levels, all right? Through stories. I told a friend recently, coyote medicine. Through stories, through the tone of voice, through the tone of the other person's voice, it all gets back to this same concept of oneness and the frequency of the universe and the Indra and the Vajra and that type thing. I can talk to somebody for 10 minutes and change their whole fucking life, okay? And they won't even know it. But it's always for the better. And it's not me, really, that's changing it. It's a channeling, okay? Now, you can either believe that or not believe it, but the only way that you're going to really feel it is to have a session with me on a one-to-one basis. That's the way you're going to feel it. You can feel it through the video. You know I'm not bullshitting you. It's what I do. It's what shamans do. It's the purpose of healing and promoting well-being and peace of mind. And at the same time, informing, okay, informing. I've always done that. I always will do it. So, link in the show notes with the Campfire Council counseling website. Pass it on to your friends. Get it out there. And you should book a session with me yourself, whoever is listening. I told you before that people that listen to this channel will get a discount, or I'll work with them on a sliding scale if you're poor like me. Just kidding. I'm rich. I have riches beyond belief all around me, okay? I have what I need, okay? But maybe I want to get what I want. Maybe I want to have what I want instead of just need. There's no problem with that. There's no problem with giving and receiving. There's no problem with receiving in abundance, prosperity, opulence, riches, money. There's nothing wrong with that because guess what? Where does that come from? Where does money come from? What is it based on? It's based on gold, it's based on oil, it's based on resources. What are these resources? Where do they come from? They come from Vajra, they come from Mother Earth. They belong to everybody. They don't belong to just a select few people. There's no sin, okay, in receiving an abundance. And there's no sin in giving. Because the more you give, the more you're going to receive. It's a circuitry. It's a flow, okay? And these people that are sitting out there holding on to their purse strings and don't want to, let's say, invest in a counseling session or whatever, or give. Well, the tighter you hold on to it, the less you will receive. And that goes not just with me, but in all areas of life. You have to act as if you're the richest person on earth, and that the universe has your back. And these are strong lessons that even I, as a shaman, have to learn and have learned and have been learning. It's not about money is evil, or, it's not about, you're not spiritual, man, if you got money. It's quite the contrary. What good do you do other people if you're poor and in poverty? What good do you do other people? How can you help other people? How can you help mankind thrive and partake in abundance? Okay, it's a flow. It's a flow. See, now some people, the powers to be, they understand these occult metaphysical principles, but they use it for their advantage. So don't you want to know exactly what they know and use it for your advantage? Freedom. Vri, Vajra, Rajra, and Indra. Freedom. Freedom to help others. Freedom to help others. When you increase my prosperity, I increase your prosperity as a humankind, okay? I give as much as I receive. I give more than I receive, all right? I give more than I receive. So just some food for thought here on, what is this, Monday the 4th? It is Monday, isn't it? Yeah, Monday the 4th in Sandy Valley, Nevada, the Desert Shaman, enjoying the cooler weather. I think I've said enough today. I'll leave it there. Make sure and like the video and subscribe. And man, you really should get on it with subscribing to Substack and go into my websites, Spirit of Crazy Horse, with my books. Incidentally, that video I put out was a chapter from that book. It's how to inform people that a lot of people have the attention span of a gnat and they like to be entertained. Okay, you get the drift there? Because I'd hate for people to desert the shaman, the deserted shaman instead of the desert shaman. Well, you can go ahead and do what you want to do, as far as I'm concerned, but you're going to be, you're going to miss the desert shaman if you do that. Just straightening things out here, people. No, I'm not selling out to technology. Never would do that. But you can use technology to an advantage, see? And that's what these people don't do, the powers to be. They use technology for a disadvantage, for their advantage and your disadvantage. It's got to end. So anyway, I think I've said enough today. Hey, that rhymes. Anyway, I've said enough today. Go to the show notes and check out and pass stuff around. Okay, the more you give, the more you receive. Adios.